I'm waiting to see us go live here. There it is. 269. Looks good. But you guys got like dead quiet.
Well, we're going live?
Well, that's like the typical going live response.
It is, but it seemed even more so in a way. It's kind of weird.
Wait, are we streaming?
Yes.
Yeah, we're streaming.
It's my moment
Why
of
don't I
zen.
see the stream?
Click on home instead of videos.
Did you cross them?
Okay.
It's dangerous to cross the streams.
See, I should have added that one to the game for tonight.
Until it's not. Because
Right.
they still did it anyways later on.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
It's just like the prime directive in Star Trek. Don't ever break it until it's convenient for the plot.
Classic storytelling. Don't you ever do this thing until it's time to do that thing. It's funny because we're still watching Star Trek every night, going through all the recommended episodes. I think my wife sent you, Wes, the list.
Uh-huh.
And it's so cool because we probably should have started the show already, but
We'll just start it.
yeah, let's start it. Okay. What's up, Internet? You're listening to the Making Geeks podcast, a podcast for makers, families, and geeks.
Hey, I'm one of those geeks.
I'm definitely one of those. My household is full of geeks right now. Just before we started recording, we were starting to talk about Star Trek. And last week we talked about my family's going through and watching all the recommended episodes the pivotal episodes from the original series. And we've been enjoying it every night, and it's gotten to the point where my kids know the intro verbatim, and they'll say it out loud every time, even my daughter. And every time my daughter starts saying that, my wife and I will kind of look at each other and smile, because she is typically very much anti anything that seems like it's not made for her.
Mm-hmm.
But we kind of convinced her that it was something that would be good for her to watch because of the science aspect. She says she really likes science. We're talking, taking the science approach. And there was one of the previous episodes, I forget which one, but she had already figured out what was going to happen and what the plan was going to be. And we kind of talked her up on that and kind of built her up, and she kind of liked that. So I think she looks forward to the problem-solving aspect of a lot of the things now. Yeah. So there's always a way to get kids into the things that we like, and
Yeah, I tried to take that approach and do like a family Star Trek night, and that, I don't know, that's, as much as I want to, other people lean the other direction. Like the harder I push one way, they push the other way. Like, I don't know what Catherine, my wife, has against it, but I don't know. She grew up watching a little bit of different things, and had some people that she ended up not liking anymore that like Star Trek, so she just has like
it's an association thing.
Yeah, I've been trying to break that over time, but my daughter I've introduced Next Generation to before I did original series, like a couple years ago. Like, we found the more kid-centric episodes, and like the one where Picard's trapped in a turbo lift elevator with like 3 snotty-nosed little kids, and he breaks his ankle, and they have to like go on an adventure to like go through the turbo lift, like Jeffrey's tubes, and like go around the ship, and they end up countering some bad guy that's like gotten in. And then there's the other one where the main crew, or a couple members of the crew, including the captain and Guinan, get like de-aged to a kid size. So then they're like running around trying to be like the captain or whatnot as a kid, and they're like, what the hell? It's just pretty hilarious. So they love those ones where they spin it for a kid, and I use that as like the hook to get her into it. And then I started doing some more of the Data stuff, which she thought was really fascinating, like the the ones where he goes like to the planet and does all the the typical Star Trek stuff. And she seems to really enjoy that. Then I realized that she didn't know who Spock was and who Kirk was. This is a couple years ago, and I showed her some of the like 1 or 2 episodes of the original series, and it's such a tonal shift and like such a stark difference, especially once you get into the later seasons of Next Gen, because the production quality is so much better than the first season, that it was just kind of jarring for her, and she didn't really like it. So we actually jumped gears. This is sacrilegious, yeah.
Yeah.
We jumped gears and went to the JJ movies because they were more like palatable for a modern audience, like with the short attention span, and all that stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna eventually get there.
And I tried to hook Grant into it, my son, and he kind of didn't want anything to do with it, not because of Star Trek related, but because it was kind of slow at the beginning, and he just kind of got bored and he dropped it. But then he kind of like eased back into the second and the third ones, and they're like more actiony, and he's like, oh, this is actually kind of cool because he's into Avengers stuff and all the more actiony oriented things. And so the J.J. Abrams Trek series are definitely that, more so than what Trek usually has to offer. But so I'm trying to use their interest and hook them, but then kind of backpedal a little bit and do little nuggets of things here and there. And then, of course, I was making progress with my son, and he got some exposure to the Borg, I'm not sure where, and he got freaked out from the characters. He actually was scared of the characters for a while, so he didn't want to watch anything with like the Borg in it. When we were like just at the point where I was showing my daughter like Locutus and all those like awesome episodes where all the Borg centric stuff was really cool, and Grant was like, nope. And I found like a My Golden Book. This is a couple years ago. A My Golden Book of Star Trek stuff. It was like ABCs of Star Trek or something like that. And B was Borg. And so it was like a cartoon version of the Borg. He's like, he flips to the first page, like A for whatever it was, Andorian. B for Borg. Nope. Closed the book, walked away. I'm like, come on, no. And it was like the cartoonist, like cutest version of a Borg you could possibly do. So then the last couple of days since we've talked, I did the Trouble with Tribbles first, and they were both in there, and they actually thought that was pretty cool. And then I found I found some of the short treks that were like the short little episodes that they produced between the seasons of Discovery, and they have an episode that's Tribble centric. That if you haven't seen it, it's fantastic. It's so good. It's got John H. Benjamin in it from Archer and Bob's Burgers. It's hysterical. Yeah. It's the funniest Star Trek. It's basically Lower Decks before Lower Decks because it existed, and it's basically like the Orville because they take the most like comedic approach to this character, and it's super funny. So if you've never watched it, seek it out. And if you have Paramount Plus, seek it out. I forget what season it is exactly, or a little mini season of it, but just kind of look through it. Just look for the. Actually, while you guys go on with what you're
John H. Benjamin. And
yeah,
Star
there you
Trek.
go. There you go. Yeah, but you don't want it to spoil it because there's a spoiler that once you figure it out, it's pretty hilarious. Once they reveal it in the show, so don't Google it too hard; you'll spoil the fun. But
on a quick side note, the Orville is coming to Disney Plus.
What?
Yep. I think it was Fox that owned it. Disney bought Fox, so now it's going to be on Disney Plus. I've never seen the Orville, but I know what it's about, and I know Wes has talked about it on the show before. But now this on Disney Plus. Actually, I don't know. I might give it a shot and watch it. We'll see.
I looked it up. It's called Trouble with Edward, and the character's name is Edward. So instead of Trouble with Tribbles, Trouble with Edward.
Troubled with Edward.
Yeah, and it's family friendly. There's no cursing or anything like a lot of other modern Star Trek things are. It's definitely kid friendly, and it's pretty funny. So highly recommended.
I'm gonna have to watch that because I like John H. Benjamin.
Do the Trouble with Tribbles first, if as a refresher, because there's like some good callbacks, for sure.
Right.
So other than roping or trying to rope our kids into geek centric stuff, what you guys been up to this week?
I mean, that's pretty much all I've been up to.
Life as a geek father.
Yes, trying to stay out of the heat.
I'm working on a video right now. I should be done with it hopefully by tomorrow. Get that out. It's a kind of an obligated video. So that'll be out. I'm putting together a video for a diode laser enclosure that I was sent. So everybody that's had issues with diode lasers being safe, here's an enclosure for it, and hopefully that'll make it a little bit more trustworthy. We'll see.
Wait, is that the FlashForge thing?
No,
or
that's
is the FlashForge project different?
FlashForge project is for the 3D printer. It's a different video they have to start working on. No, this is It's a foldable portable enclosure that's meant to be used in conjunction with diode lasers since they're open air and don't really have any kind of box. So this kind of makes that process a little bit better, especially in terms of like my family walking out of the garage, not having to worry about to cover their eyes or glasses. It's contained in a box and works pretty well for what it is. I'll talk about it more in the video. And then I'm also spending a lot of time working on my VR course that I'm currently in, which is the VR course with Unity. I'm a couple hours behind in the curriculum, but it's going pretty well. I've been going through it pretty fast, and it's fun. It's giving me all sorts of ideas and makes me want to pivot again to something else.
Yep.
Which we'll see.
Yep.
It's a lot easier and a lot more attainable than I thought it was going to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's funny. We might have some of the same ideas there. Yeah.
Yeah, because I already have a couple of experiences / games that I'm already mapping out that I think I will actually be able to do.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go from there. Maybe a VR escape room in the near future too. So, how about you guys?
Speaking of sponsored laser videos, I just a few minutes ago got an email from OM Tech, and they're like,
I've
hey,
talked with them.
we love your channel. Like, we're so interested in the products that you 3D print, like your Lloyd's golden sword. And I was like, you didn't watch that video, did you? Because I didn't 3D print anything in Lloyd's golden sword. And then they're like, we would love to talk to you about potentially sending you some laser equipment to try laser engraving. And I was like, you really have not looked at my channel for more than 2 seconds, have you?
do you know what OM Tech is?
Oh yeah, K40.
Yeah,
OM Tech is K40, right?
It's a brand of K40.
Yeah,
but it's it's
semi-branded,
right?
Yeah. But when people talk about K40, it's 90% of the time it's OM Tech.
They're supposed to be U.S. based, where they basically just buy a bunch of them, warehouse them, and then do their whatever modifications, and then sell them almost like on a secondary market. I've been in talks with them for a while, but nothing's happened yet. So
I thought it was so fun. I'm like, I have an entire playlist dedicated to laser cutting projects,
but you can see
one on the main page of my channel.
You do one sponsored laser video like that, you'll probably end up getting, all the companies sending you lasers. So if you want a laser collection, talking for somebody that's spent the last 2 months doing it.
See, the problem is that I don't think they want to pay me. For one, they didn't do enough research, and so they probably just want to send me some little laser. I was like,
they won't pay.
I've already got one. That's great that you think I make great content. We love your content. I was like, oh gosh. But I've been busy on a couple projects. This is an audio podcast, so this is a great time for me to pull out my current project that I'm working on. I am painting, which I don't really do a lot of, but I got this canvas and I have painted the King of Red Dragons on the canvas, really taking me back to LucasArts times, matte painting, my Disney days with cell paintings and things like that. It has been super fun painting on this canvas. It looks great from a distance. I'm glad that it's viewable from a distance, because up close I'm like, oh, this is gonna look horrible. It's gonna look terrible.
I'm assuming that's acrylic paint.
Yeah, it's acrylic paint. I don't like tempera. Is that the other one?
It's a powder.
Oil. I don't like oil-based paint. It is a beast to clean up, and I have kids. Acrylic has to be the paint that we use in this house, because
I didn't know if you're getting fancy or not. So
everything in the house would be just colored. But it's been super fun. The other thing that I've been working on is I'm trying to learn how to make dice, and so I have been designing and coming up with an idea for a product, actually, maybe. I don't know. But it's maker dice that are going to be a set of 5 dice that have different making materials, different color schemes, different project areas, and things like that. Because when I talk to people on, especially on Instagram, one thing that seems to come up a lot is people don't feel like they have ideas for projects. They're like, oh, you're so creative. Like the things that you do are so creative. I wish I was creative like you. I'm like, I don't understand what you're talking about. Like everybody's creative. Like my brain just doesn't shut off. And so I get ideas for things like all the time. And they're like, oh, my brain doesn't work like that. And so I'm like, okay, maybe I can come up with a fun way to like inspire people to make a project. And so I'm designing 5 dice that you roll that has, like I said, a mode, a material, a place to put it, a function, and a color scheme to like maybe spark creativity in makers who feel like they're not creative enough. And so I've been learning about dice making and resin printing and casting and molding and all that kind of stuff. And it's been really cool. It's been really fun. So that's going to be another project coming up in the future, probably pretty soon within the next couple weeks. Other than that, I've been getting ready for Maker Camp next week. Gonna go see Wes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have fun.
Speaking of dice, I've also been looking at dice videos, and this is due to the fact that this week I DM'd my first D&D session with my wife and my daughter and my son, which is 11-year-old and an 8-year-old respectively, who all 3 have never played D&D, and I've only played 1 session of D&D before this, so that was a lot of fun. We were playing the campaign that comes in the starter set, the official D&D starter set, which has some dice, and we went to a local game store and got each person their own little set of dice, so they have like physical ownership into it. And they have pre-generated characters that were in the set that they picked from, and I watched a couple videos last weekend and a couple days early this week to sort of figure out how to do this. And like there were a couple videos I found, including this one channel called Verdigrease Table, which is a very weird word I never knew existed before, which apparently that's another... The verdigrease is the name of the green patina that comes off of a copper statue or copper material, like when it's weathered.
Fancy.
Didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's also the name of a town just north of where I live.
Oh, sweet.
And I didn't realize that's what it meant. It's a port, so that kind of makes sense.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, the channel that I found several of them, but that one, it's called the Verdigrease Table with Ryan Doyle. He's only got like 400 subs, and he's got like 80 videos, and he's been doing it for like 9 months. And they're really well produced, honestly. The thumbnails are really good. They're really straightforward. He doesn't like beat around the bush. He's like very inspiring with the way he's like, he has tips for being a DM and also a player, and like he approaches things from like a kind of a new kind of angle if you're not really familiar with a lot of the terminology and stuff. But he doesn't get like bogged down in the minutia. He kind of gives you inspiring ideas of how to pivot when people choose different things you didn't expect, and encourage your players to come up with ideas and to be involved in the game and that sort of thing. It's really neat. So I've actually been watching a couple of his videos and commenting on his stuff, and we've started having like a little dialogue on different platforms. We're like doing like platform tag, like, oh, like follow him on Instagram and Twitter, and then he's like doing the same thing, and we're like doing like a round robin commenting on each other's videos, which is kind of fun.
What was the name of the channel again?
It's called Verdigrease Table, Verdigris Table. Not the most easy to say and like share audibly, but I'll share it on my own channels for a link if you guys are interested. But yeah, it's pretty good stuff. And the session went pretty well. We played for 2 hours before people started kind of dropping out with interest and like energy levels. But then the next couple days after that, I felt like I needed some practice still, just doing the mechanics of how things fight and whatnot. And so my daughter and son and we did like this little gladiator battle, basically. So I have like the D&D monster manual that I bought. I bought a crap ton of books on the Amazon sale or whatever they had a couple weeks ago, Amazon Prime days, and one of those was the Monster Manual. So basically, went and like I described like a Colosseum kind of environment, and kind of like Thor Ragnarok basically, because they've seen that, and that's more familiar to them just even than the Roman Colosseum, because they're like, what is that, you know? But they know what the Thor Ragnarok scene is. So I'm like, you know that part? You know, I'm like describing basically Thor Ragnarok entrance when like Thor walks in, like, you guys are like Thor. And then you're presented with several challenges of different animals and creatures. And so I'm like flipping through the book, like with no setup of any of this stuff. And it ended up doing a pretty epic thing at the end. A little bit I fudged just to make for the story to like kind of jive and get them excited. Basically, one of the they opened like this, they pulled this lever, and she rolled a 20 trying to pull the lever because it was kind of stuck, and she rolled a 20. So I'm like, you pulled it so hard that it like rips it off. And she's like, I thought that's supposed to be like a 20 is supposed to be like a good thing. I'm like, you pulled it so awesomely, it ripped it off. She's like, that doesn't sound good. I'm like, it's awesome. The little door opened. I'm like, then we started getting into this discussion, like, how would you awesomely pull a lever? It's either you pull it or you don't pull it, you know, like, so it was like this whole little rabbit hole for a minute. And she opens like the door, and inside there was like a Pegasus, and she's like, "Aww," and Grant is like, "Aww," and like it's a Pegasus, and he's been there for so long, and he's like really starving, and so like, oh, we're gonna give him some food, and they give him the food, and like the Pegasus starts crawling out, and it's like the portcullis kind of entrance, you know, the doorway where the lever lifts it up, kind of like at the beginning entrance of a castle. So the portcullis is like raised above the Pegasus, and the Pegasus is like crawling out, and then basically I say the portcullis breaks and falls and like cuts the wings off of the Pegasus, and like my daughter's like, what? And it just I did this because just a couple of pages before that, they have a character called Nightmare, which is basically a Pegasus that got its like tortured and its wings cut off, and it becomes like this demonic creature that like flies around, and like it's like mane and is fire, and its tail is fire, and its eyes glow. So then I basically described that appearing, like all the torches in the gladiator arena and everything go out, and an eclipse covers the sun, and then you see like the burning red, you know, mane kind of start glowing of this creature, and then I showed a picture of it, and it's really well illustrated in the Monster Man. They're like, oh my god!
Wes, I think you should write children's books.
It was so funny, dude. But then they're battling it, and they're getting ready to die. And then earlier in the adventure, they found this little lizard that they didn't think anything of. They didn't attack it or whatever. It was just like in a box of some other stuff. And right when they were getting ready to be destroyed, this lizard runs out in front of them and calls out. And like another Pegasus that was in a pit in between them and the Nightmare thing. There was a pit in the middle of the arena. This full Pegasus comes out of the middle and like fights the Nightmare versus Pegasus thing, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And then at the end, of course, the Pegasus, like the good one, like bows down in front of them, and they jump on it and fly away. You know, that's kind of like I ended it, and they're like, that's so awesome. And I'm like, that's pretty good for not knowing what the hell I'm doing and fudging some of this stuff. So it was a lot of fun. And then I had them both of them ask for another play session, which I don't know how I'm going to top flying away on a flipping Pegasus. That was pretty, I shouldn't have led that with that.
Especially after you brutally maimed another Pegasus.
I did. I started seeing like tears like well up in her eyes because she loves, you know, fantasy creatures like unicorns and stuff. And when I said, "Oh, I just, you know, the Pegasus got its wings chopped off," I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" But it's great. Like they're starting to get into it, especially when they get down in the dumps. They start rolling ones and all these things, and then when they happen to roll a 20, oh my gosh, they might as well like flip the table over. They're so excited. And like, you know, the arrow goes through the zombie's head and out the back, you know, hits the other zombie. I'm not like super graphic, but I'm just PG-13 graphic enough, like on an Avengers movie level, where they're like, whoa, that sounds awesome. So I don't know. I'm having fun with it.
Sounds like it.
That sounds cool. Gosh. Makes me wonder what kind of D&D adventures we're going to go on next week.
Oh, no.
It's going to be something, from what I'm guessing. It's going to be something.
Hopefully it just cools off. That's my thing.
Yeah. It rained here which it hasn't done in months. We've had a drought, and it rained last night and today. And oh my gosh, it cooled off to like 80 degrees. I was like, man, I need a parka.
What's rain?
Right? Yeah.
It's pretty bad where I am. We haven't had rain in at least 6 months, 8 months. Dang. It's been a while.
Yeah, you're on fire? Is that right?
It
seems about right.
Not me personally, but yeah, part of the state.
Gosh, yeah, it's a hot summer. It's been heat indexes here have been in the 110s, almost to the 120s, and it's just like I don't want to do anything when it's too hot.
Strangely enough, actually, I don't think it's been as hot here as it has been before, although August tends to be our hotter month. But it's just been really dry, and we've had rain for months, so everybody's, trying to conserve water, at least where the city is like mandating it. If it goes any further, they'll be rationing like cups of water for you to drink.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all caught up what we've been doing. So what are we doing tonight?
Well, I was given the idea to do a Who Said It game, which we've done different games in the past on the podcast. This one is just super simple. All it is quotes.
I like it.
And you have to tell me who said it. But it's Making Geeks edition, so it's maker-related, family-related, geek-related, mashup of all three topics that we talk about here on the podcast. And so I just gathered a collection of quotes that I'm going to quiz you guys on to see if you know who said it.
This is
the question is, should I do the voices?
Yeah.
Do it.
It's going to make it easier if I do the voices.
Maybe don't at first. If we're struggling, then you can.
Yeah.
Then do the
throw
voices.
us a bone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like our hint.
Because like some of these super simple, you're gonna get them. Some of these not so simple, but hopefully not hard enough that you don't entirely know the reference. And if you want a hint, I can tell you who said it, and then you can just tell me where it's from.
Do we figure out the logistics of which we're going to take turns, or whoever answers first?
I think it's just whoever answers first. I think.
Okay.
Would be yeah.
Let's go for it.
Give it a shot.
Just keep this kind of open-ended. And if you're listening in the podcast, and if you're here in the live, because we do a live podcast every Thursday at 8:30 Central and other time zones applicable. And so if you want to play games with us live like this, please join us as we play games together. So let's do it. Who said it? Making Geeks edition. And this is where I would cue the music, but I'm not fancy enough to have like a soundboard or anything to cue the music. And so here we go. Question number 1. I used to be an adventurer like you until I took an arrow in the knee.
Oh, that's from Skyrim.
That is from Skyrim. Do you know who said it? For an extra point.
Oh, I do not know that.
I've never played the game. Don't know it.
Do you know the reference though, Sean?
I know it as a meme that got said endlessly for a while.
Oh yeah, for like a whole year. Town Guard, Skyrim. All right, number 2. Strange women lying in ponds, distributing swords, is no basis for a system of government.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail? No.
Exactly. Do you know which character said it?
No, because I don't remember character names. that one guy wearing the chainmail.
Yes, Dennis the Peasant. To be exact. Very good. You have died of dysentery.
Oh yes, that's Oregon Trail.
Okay.
Now who said that? The narrator? I don't know.
Yes,
is there a narrator for Oregon Trail? I'm not sure the logistics of who's actually talking to you and telling you this information from a
programmer.
Yeah, exactly.
The mechanics. The programmer. The programmer, the Oregon Trail. These get harder, I promise. All right. Number 4. This child is about to wipe out every living thing on Earth. Now, what do you suggest we do? Spank it?
I know I've heard the line.
Got nothing.
It was said by a doctor.
Doctor Strange? No. First one that came to mind.
Dr. Quinn Medicine One?
If it was Doctor... I don't think it was Doctor Who, but I wouldn't know because I've never seen the show.
Dr. Nick. Hi, everybody.
Nope. Dr. McCoy. From the original Star Trek.
Context?
The Star Baby is gonna like destroy all of humanity, and Dr. McCoy's talking with Spock, and he's like, Spock, this child's about to wipe out everything on Earth. What do you suggest we do? Spank it? That was not his voice. My impression of Dr. McCoy is terrible.
Wes, I'm surprised you didn't know that one.
I'm not as familiar with the original series, honestly.
Really?
Like I know the characters, I don't know them like verbatim or anything.
What was it, the series, or was it from the actual motion picture?
No, the motion picture.
Same thing for me.
that first one's a tough watch.
That is, like, they spend 20 minutes just flying by the Enterprise. I'm like, if I'm still awake after that.
And that's the one that's the shot I remember too. I mean, it's a beautiful shot, but
it's almost as bad as the original Superman, where like they're flying through New York City for like 16 hours. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure which one is more like cinematography porn or whatever you want to call it.
All right. Number 5. What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets.
Somebody angry.
Mm-hmm. A count said this one.
Count of Monte Cristo.
Count Chocula.
Yes, Count Chocula.
If I don't have the right answer, I'm just going to say some random crap, whatever first comes in my head. So I'm just letting you know. Because we don't want silence on the podcast if we can help it.
The Count from Sesame Street.
No. That would have made Sesame Street.
Could you imagine? That'd be an amazing episode. So what happened here?
Didn't Saturday Night Live just do like a gritty retelling of Oscar the Grouch on Sesame Street in live action? I thought I saw something. I was like, man, that would be.
They did one a couple years ago with David Harbour as the Grouch, but I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Dracula said this. Do you know what it's from?
Dracula. Which version? Which incantation or incarnation of it?
That's
Can you say it? Can you say the quote again?
What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets.
Is it from Blade? I don't know. Or is it from Castlevania? I don't know.
Yep, Castlevania.
Oh, hey. Is it from the Netflix show? Or is it from the cartoon? Oh, okay. I never seen
it.
Yeah.
Or the video game. Well, it's kind of deep for the video game.
It's actually from both. It is from the video game Harmony of Shadows, I think. But it's also a quote from the show. What is man?
You're digging deep on some of these.
Piles. Yeah, jeez.
All right. This one, I have not seen this one, but apparently everybody else has. A man who doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man.
Nick Cage, Family Man.
Boy, no! That is a great movie, though. One of my favorites.
Same.
But yeah, it's not Nick Cage.
Repeat the quote again.
A man who doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man.
Godfather.
Yes.
That's a good impression.
The Godfather. I have not seen it.
I've only seen it once, and I wasn't impressed.
Yeah.
I saw it later, like only a couple years ago for the first time, begrudgingly, because it's not my thing, those kinds of movies, and I did not look back fondly on that experience. I was like, yeah, I could live without that. And then he's like, oh, it was my brother-in-law. He's like, oh, you got to watch the sequels too. I'm like, oh my gosh, no.
I think the second one is better than the first, but if you didn't like the first, there's no guarantee about the second one.
Yeah. All right, number 7. If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.
Oh.
Any cop movie ever made?
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Good. Right direction. Not a cop, but right direction. A detective.
Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura.
Yep.
Pet detective.
Right.
If I'm not back in 5 minutes.
Just wait longer.
All right, number 8. Life is cruel. Of this, I have no doubt. One can only hope that one leaves behind a lasting legacy, but so often the legacies that we leave behind are not the ones that we intend. I hope Wes would get this one.
At first, it sounded like you were quoting a Disney movie line, like a song
not
line.
Disney.
But
That's
then,
a long quote.
No, at first. But then I lost it there afterwards.
Well, Deadcrafted said Big Trouble in Little China, so I'm going to use that as my answer.
Is that it's not it.
Well, it's better
Wes
than what I was
worked
thinking.
on this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it Gears of War quote?
Mm-hmm.
What is it again?
Life is cruel. Of this I have no doubt. One can only hope that one leaves behind a lasting legacy, but so often the legacies we leave behind are not the ones we intend. Do you know his character?
Sounds too profound for Marcus Phoenix to say.
No, it's not Marcus. Queen Myra said it.
Ugh.
I think that's too profound for a video game.
What game is that? Is that from the third one?
No, the second one.
Oh, okay.
Here's War 2.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, number 9. Destiny dressed you up this morning, my friend, and now fear is trying to pull off your pants. If you give in, then you're going to end up naked with fear just standing there laughing at your dangling unmentionables.
I think I said that in college at some point. No idea.
Such a great line. Such a great show. And comic. And cartoon. And everything.
Comic, cartoon.
Mm-hmm. I could try to. Let's see. Destiny dressed you this morning, my friend, and now fear is trying to pull off your pants. If you give in, then you're going to end up naked with fear just standing there laughing at you dangling unmentionables. I'm not doing it justice.
I don't know. At first I want to say the Tick, but it's not like...
It is the Tick.
Is it?
It is very much the Tick.
Never seen it.
Wow.
Never read it.
No,
Although the new Tick, yeah. I didn't know how to do the new Tick, so I'm like, I'll just try to do a
Patrick
really bad
Warburton.
Patrick Warburton.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Nice. I came
Okay.
across. Yeah.
So it was close enough. All right. Number 10. Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
At least I've heard this line, even though I can't place it. Oh wait, that's Batman original series.
That is
or
Batman.
the TV show.
Yep, from Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Very good. This is good.
Hey, I got one. Yay.
You got one. All right. Number 11. I'm taking the coward's way out, but before I do, I just wanted to say being smart made me appreciate just how amazing you really are.
I'm waiting for some more help from the audience because I'm lost.
Were these too deep of cuts?
Possibly. I have to reduce my my geek level, I think.
A dumb dad was saying it to his smart daughter. If I said the name, it'd give it away.
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons. Very, very touching episode. Homer becomes smart.
Well, he used to be smart before in the first season, but then he got dumb.
Yeah.
But now I'm recalling the episode that you're talking about.
Smart Homer didn't play well in the ratings.
And now, 36 years later, yeah. All right, number 12. Texans are natural DIYers. Nothing is beyond us. Nothing is beneath us.
Ted Cruz.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
This is within the context of our podcast.
I know. I couldn't resist, sorry.
Got nothing.
I can't think of anything that's specifically Texas reference.
What Texans do you know within our space?
Wesley Treat. Bobby Duke.
Good guess.
Bobby Duke.
Another good guess. I don't think Bobby would say this, but another good guess.
Is it somebody we know?
Yeah.
Oh. Wasn't kind of expecting that.
Well, we are the podcast for makers, families, and geeks.
Say it again.
All of these are not just geek related. Texans are natural DIYers. Nothing is beyond us. Nothing is beneath us. Texas is a natural DIY. No, she doesn't have that thick of an accent. Texans are natural DIY.
It's not April.
April. Yeah, April Wilkerson. She has an accent, but not that strong. Texans are natural DIYers. All right, number 13. A sword wields no strength unless the hands that hold it have courage. This was said by the hero's shade, if that helps.
The hero's shade?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that helps.
That doesn't help. You got nothing?
No.
The hero's shade was from Twilight Princess. The train Link.
Never played it.
The sword that wields no strength. The sword wields no strength unless the hands that hold it have courage.
That sounds like a fairly common platitude that might have appeared other places too, but...
Yeah. But specifically for that one, I had to put a Zelda one in here somewhere. And considering the hero's shade is Zelda from the future, in the timeline which fails, like, it's proof that Link talks. So there you go. Zelda lore right there. Number 14, the right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. Don't cover your hat. You're still good. The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world.
Quantum Leap.
Ooh, good guess.
Don't know.
I think we should say yes, no matter what, because I think that's a fantastic attribution.
This was said by the G-Man.
Half-Life?
Mm-hmm. Half-Life.
Half-Life. Yeah, I see it now.
Yep. The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world.
I believe that's
all
probably
right.
Half-Life 2, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Strange things are afoot in the Super K. I said that all slurred. Strange things are afoot in the Super K.
Clerks? No.
Yep. Good guess.
The Circle K.
Circle K or Super K?
Super K. I could try and do the voice.
Wait, you're not talking about Simpsons again, are you?
Nope.
No,
that's
that's Quickie Mart.
That's Quickie Mart.
Yeah,
Try doing the voice.
Strange things are afoot in the Super K.
Oh, Bill and Ted.
Yes. That was terrible. Oh, it was so terrible.
It's good enough that I got it.
Yeah, okay. All right, next one. If it looks straight, it is straight.
Jimmy DiResta.
Jimmy DiResta. You guys got that one off the bat. Very good.
I have it hanging in my hall.
I got that right here. This little brown thing behind me. In the envelope.
Yeah?
I never took it out. Yeah, I never made a thing for it. Yeah.
I have it hanging right outside my office.
Did he make like a card of that quote or something?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, it's a print.
It is. Okay.
Would you
I
like
love
to
it.
see
Good to know. All right, next one. Jettison that jalopy from my driveway, this instant, you deadbeat.
Back to the Future?
Nope.
I know I've heard that line. I can't place it though. Jettison this jalopy.
Yep. All right, let's get the accent. Jettison that jalopy from my driveway this instant, you deadbeat.
DuckTales.
DuckTales. Scrooge McDuck.
That's not where I thought it was from. I guess I didn't know it.
All right, next one. Invention, my dear friends, is 93% perspiration, 6% electricity, 4% evaporation, and 2% butterscotch ripple.
Colin Furs.
Interesting guess. Not the right one, but a very interesting guess.
I think next time we need to categorize these ahead of time to help narrow the field. Like, is this a maker quote?
No, this is a geek quote. A movie quote, to be exact.
Can you repeat it?
Is it Young Einstein?
Yes. What kind of voice?
Did you hear what? Did you hear what Wes said?
What did he say?
Young Einstein? It's not it.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Invention, my dear friends, is 93% perspiration, 6% electricity, 4% evaporation, and 2% butterscotch ripple.
Not Sherlock Holmes.
Sounds so familiar.
The butterscotch ripple makes it not Sherlock Holmes.
The Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
No. No.
Got nothing.
Nope.
Nothing.
We're not doing so hot, I don't think.
I made this too hard, I guess. It was said by Wonka, if that is a hint.
Yeah. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Yes. Yep. All right, next one. All right.
Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
You specifically said it in the most bland way to not give it away.
I wasn't trying to do the voice.
From a Lincoln commercial, right?
Do you know where it started? Its origins, if you will.
I believe it started in that movie with not Fast Times.
Nope.
No, I know. I can't remember the name of it. Dazed and Confused.
Yep. Very good.
Yeah.
Wooderson.
Of course, I know the one about the potheads. But...
Yeah. All right. All right. Next one. The best solution to a problem is usually the easiest one, and I'll be honest, killing you is hard.
James Bond.
That is a very good guess. Very applicable to that series, but no, this is a game, not a movie. I could try to do the voice and give it away, probably.
Do it.
Go for it.
All right. The best solution to a problem is usually the easiest one, and I'll be honest, killing you is hard.
Portal.
Yep,
GLaDOS.
Yep. All right, next one. I've always said that if my son thinks of me as one of his idiot friends, I've succeeded as a dad.
Hopefully no one ever.
TV show. I'll start giving the category.
It's not Family Guy.
TV show.
I hope it's not Family Guy.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I wonder how to do his voice. I've always said no. He's kind of nasally. I've always said that if my son thinks of me as one of his idiot's friends, I've succeeded as a dad. That is not his voice. Character's name is Phil, if that helps.
Not Modern Family?
Yep, Modern Family.
Huh.
Phil Dunphy. Are these two? do you guys want to keep going? Are these too deep? Too much?
Well, we got a couple more minutes to dedicate to this. Might as well finish it out. I've already crashed and burned. I might as well see it through.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Let's crawl out of the wreckage.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll do good. If someone asks if you're a god, you say yes.
Yeah, Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Do you know who? For extra
Egon.
points?
No, that's not Egon. No.
Spangler.
No, Ray says. No, Ray is the person that they're telling it to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's from Venkman.
Bill Murray's character says it.
No.
What? One of them. Whatever.
The only one you have.
Winston.
Slimer. Yes, Slimer. All right. Nothing shocks me. I'm a scientist.
Dead air.
Ooh.
Back to the Future?
No. This is a movie.
So is that.
Indy was the name of the character that said this.
Yeah, Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
When you said shocks me, I was actually thinking about it being a pun. So I was thinking
right, me too.
in a different direction.
Me too.
Okay. Yeah.
Which one was it?
I'm a scientist. Temple of Doom.
Huh, okay.
All right. Tell Hank it's not okay. If I have to move out all the furniture and add amps and repaint the walls and get a new tux and pay for the plants, then I'd like cheaper chicken. These are too hard. I'm so sorry.
Cheaper chicken.
Tell Hans it's not okay. If I have to move out all
Hank.
of the furniture and add amps and repaint the walls, get a new tux. What?
You said Hank first time you read
Oh,
it.
sorry.
Hans.
Oh.
Hans.
Movie?
Yes, movie.
Hans and France.
Well, yes, actually. That were recast in this movie.
I have no idea.
Okay, yeah, it was George from Father of the Bride.
There's no way I'd remember or maintain any information from that movie.
You might as well reference
it's
"Don't
not
tell
20
mom
years
the babysitter's dead" or something. Like, who cares? All right.
Okay, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna go through these and
I know you pride
figure
yourself
them
at like
out.
the deepest of deep cuts. I know that's the thing, but yeah.
Okay, you please get this one. Otherwise, I'm gonna start feeling bad. Don't call me a mindless philosopher, you overweight blob of. That is not the word that I typed, but apparently it auto-corrected. What is it supposed to be? It's not breast. It's supposed to be something else.
This one off the rails.
Don't call me a philosopher, you overweight blob of something. What does he say?
You get mad if we don't know what it is, but you didn't know what it is.
The character is C-3PO.
Overweight glob of grease.
Grease. Autocorrect. Oh my gosh. Overweight blob of grease. Never go against a Sicilian when death is on the line.
Princess Bride.
Okay. And we're back in it. All right. A bear in his natural habitat. A Studebaker.
Yes, it's a Muppet movie.
Said by?
Fozzie.
Okay. Fair. Very good. Very good. Ooh. That's how it always starts. Then later there's running and screaming.
Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm. Said by?
Jeff Goldblum.
Well, yes.
Malcolm.
Very good. I did nothing. I did absolutely nothing, and it was everything I thought it could be.
Me every Sunday.
It's driving me crazy.
Said by Peter.
Movie?
From a movie. Yep.
Oh yeah, Office Space.
I did not. Yep.
Yeah.
I did absolutely nothing, and it was everything I thought
Yeah.
it could be.
Yep.
I just saw
Peter
that recently,
Pan.
but I retained nothing.
And it was everything you thought it could be.
Why should I
right?
change? He's the one that sucks.
All right, video game. No god or kings, only man.
God of War.
Good guess. They're making a movie out of this, apparently.
Super Mario Brothers.
Mm-mm. It was said by Andrew Ryan, if that helps.
It doesn't.
It doesn't? No gods or kings, only man. BioShock.
I'm trying if they're making that new movie. I don't.
Was
I
it a
only
movie or a
played-
TV series?
Actually, I think it might be a series. because everything's.
Weren't you the one that told me about it? That I was like, what?
I told you about Fallout.
Fallout. So it wasn't BioShock. It was Fallout. Okay.
Well, BioShock has been in development hell for, I don't know, 8 years. But, Wes, what do you think? One or two more?
Yeah. I've only got a couple more. That's it.
Okay.
End of line. Movie.
Oh, Tron.
Very good. Master Control. All right, video game. If you're ready for this. A lot of people have been asking why my voice bleeps all the time. The Torque shareholders wired my voice box with a digital sensor so I can't say stuff like bleep, 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 or bleep, bleep. And that's half my bleeping vocabulary.
That's not Borderlands, is it?
It is.
Yeah. Cloudtrap?
Mr. Torque.
Oh, yeah. That's the only character I know from that series.
All right. Sean, this one I put in here specifically for you.
Uh-oh.
Never say no to adventures. Always say yes. Otherwise, you will lead a very dull life.
That was for me?
Mm-hmm. Specifically for you. Said by Karaticus. If that helps.
No, it doesn't.
That doesn't help.
I mean, I would say Fallout off the top of my head just because
it's a movie. Sorry, did I not say that up front? It's a movie.
No, you said
a
video
movie
games
specifically for Sean. Never say no to adventures. Always say yes. Always say yes. Otherwise, you will lead a very dull life.
Don't know how that one's for me.
It's from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
You think I remember what I watch and what I hear? There's really some sort of misconception.
We were just geeking out about it. I was like, oh, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
About the visual. You think I actually listened to the stupid thing?
Oh my gosh.
All right, last one, and then we could be done. You ready? Either I just peed my pants or Thundercats are a go.
Is that a movie?
It's a movie. Oh.
It's not like the Teen Titans movie or something.
I should never be the game master.
I was thinking Teen Titans too when you just... Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Thundercats are a go. That's a really geeky type of thing to say in a movie.
Mm-hmm. It's a kind of a geeky movie. Either I just peed my pants or Thundercats are a go.
What a weird non sequitur.
Speaking of peed my... Damn it. Screw that up. Speaking of peed my pants, I would like to thank our sponsor over at Patreon, patreon.com/MakeGeeks. No, I don't know. I got nothing.
No, that was perfect. Keep going. Keep going.
I got nothing.
Juno. All right. Keep going.
Juno?
Yeah, Juno.
Why the hell would you remember Juno?
What? Dude, it's like a classic movie.
What?
Yeah, if you were like 15 when it came out, maybe. Gonna watch some annoying teenage girl that's pregnant.
So part of this is I Googled like the most popular movie quotes of all time, the most popular video game quotes of all time. And these were pulled from those lists. I was like, oh yeah, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Apparently I need to curate them a little bit more because what's considered the top 100 movie quotes of all time is apparently not for this.
Okay, but as you were going through these and pulling these, how many of them did you already natively know?
I had the answer in front of me the whole time. I didn't have to think about how many I really knew.
But see, that's problematic in and of itself then.
Yeah. I mean, I would say probably about half of them I knew.
All right. Because we probably, between the two of us, got a third of them. No, an eighth of them.
Is it really that? No. I'd say a third of them. Yeah, definitely a third.
That sounds a lot better.
Well, it's been great hosting, guys. I'm sorry I failed you.
You know who doesn't fail us?
Our patrons over at patreon.com/MakeGeeks. For every time we post an episode onto that platform. They support us with a financial contribution to help to keep the lights on here at the show and the microphones nice and warmed up for us here in our studio audience location something. We definitely appreciate each and every one of them, especially our top patrons, Jordan, Square Splinter, and Clinton. Thank you so much.
And Donovan usually talks at this point.
I do. Sorry, I was like wallowing in self-loathing. All of us are active in our online lives. And if you want to see what we're working on, what lasers we're playing with, or what adventures we'll be up to next week when 2 out of 3 of this crew will be in the same place at the same time, which is exciting and kind of crazy in and of itself. But if you want to follow in all the things that we're up to, you can check us out. Wes, you can check out at Geeksmithing. Sean, you can check out at Geek Builders. And myself, you can check out at What's Fun on Workbench.
And you should also check out our website, makinggeeks.com. We've got a contact page where you can let us know about suggestions for the show, hopefully topic ideas. You can listen to all of the past episodes right there in the browser on the homepage. And we also have a shop with some Making Geeks themed merchandise that you can check out and hopefully pick up. If you'd like to be part of the live show, we record every Thursday evening about 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern, and 8:30 Central. You can find new episodes of the podcast every Saturday morning on your favorite podcast player of choice. So from all of us, all of you, have a fantastic week.
Bye, everybody.